If you're non-binary, if you use they them pronouns, you have the Vikings to thank for that. Hi guys, what's up? My name is David and welcome back to my channel. Before you ask, no, I have not cut my hair. It's here in the ponytail. I've just been very irritated by it, so I tied it back. Spring is starting here in Sweden, and although it's still quite cold in the nights, everything is becoming green. I'm filming this in front of my window, so if I just look over there, I see a forest, which is lovely, honestly. And today's video is gonna be pretty interesting, I believe. So I hope you'll find it interesting too. So I was reading this book called The Vikings by Else Roesdahl. For context, I'm currently studying at Stockholm University, and this book is for a subject on Viking Age archaeology. And I came across this passage, which is very interesting, and I am just gonna read it to you. There are around 600 loanwords thought to be of Scandinavian origin in modern English, most of which are everyday words, such as cast, knife, take, window, egg, ill, die, from Old Norse kasta, knifr, taka, vindauga, egg, illur, dea. In addition, a number of important grammatical elements, this is where it gets interesting, such as the plurals they, them, their, from Scandinavian their, them, theira, were introduced. And it goes on to name some other linguistic stuff that was introduced into the English language by Scandinavians. But yeah, as you've heard, the plural form of the pronouns they, them, their comes from Scandinavians. And how this came into English? Well, in the Viking Age, there were these people from Scandinavia who decided they wanted to row their boats overseas to England to plunder stuff. But once they realized that there's more to life than just plundering stuff, they also decided to settle down in England and create a place called the Danelaw. And the physical place was never really called that back then, but there was still a considerable part of England which back then wasn't a united kingdom, and the Vikings actually helped unite it in a way. But yeah, a very big part of the British Isles was inhabited by Scandinavians. And because Old Norse, the language that the Scandinavians spoke, and Old English were pretty similar, linguistic changes were easily implemented. Like, it wasn't that big of a switch. So naturally people started using specific words. Like, if you think about the Vikings, you probably think about seafaring, which is why a lot of things connected to boats and ships still have Scandinavian names, like the keel. I mean, I am not an expert on seafaring, but a lot of these words actually come from Scandinavian languages. But I wanted to focus on pronouns. So yes, pronouns have existed since human languages exist. I know there's some people who think that pronouns are a new invention, but they are not. They are a crucial part of basically any language, and some languages have more than others. And in this particular case, the pronouns they, them, and their were introduced to English from Old Norse. Now, I do have to say, the book mentions the plural form of they, them, and their. So there are still some people who agree that these pronouns should be used in plural, but not in a singular form. However, the singular pronoun they was later independently developed in the English language, still not a very modern invention. So I know that in this community of people who are interested in the Viking Age, unfortunately, a lot of people are not very accepting when it comes to people who would like to use they, them pronouns, which is why I think it's funny that they are in the English language because of the Vikings. Now, I personally, as a queer person who studies Scandinavian studies, finds this very funny. I mean, it's not like I didn't know this before reading this book, but I never really thought about it that way. But yeah, if you're non-binary, if you use they, them pronouns, you have the Vikings to thank for that. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. I will probably make more videos about queer stuff related to Vikings. I have already made one before, so you can check that one out if you want to. If there's anything specific that you are wondering about, whether it's Viking related, queer related, me related, You name it, just let me know down below. I have been getting a lot of views and a lot of new subscribers recently, so I would love to know why you guys follow me and what you would like to hear from me. So yeah, this video is going to be short, but yeah, I'll definitely recommend this book. It's a very nice overview of everything related to the Viking Age. I have so many other books about the Viking Age, but this is definitely one of the nicest like overview giving ones. Does that make sense? So yeah, the Vikings definitely brought us many different things. When I say us, I mean people currently being able to understand me, so people speaking English. Because of course the Vikings did not influence every single part of the world, although they did go to many places. Like Russia was basically made by the Vikings, and the unification of England was also made possible by Vikings. So in a way, both the East and the West have been made by the Vikings, which leads to the conclusion that the Cold War was also the Vikings' fault. I will stop here. Okay, thank you for listening to my rant. Remember that the Vikings brought us they them pronouns. And yeah, bye bye, see you next week.